What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Brick Brother Podcast. Listen up, man. Y'all see the numbers is going up, but I need a big favor from y'all, all right? I need you guys to follow a Brick Brother Podcast channel that we are developing on YouTube. That's going to be our personal channel for the show. So all the episodes are going to be put up there, all right? But listen, man, we ain't going to just do anything for no reason, right? So if you going to subscribe, man, I really want to make sure that, you're getting the love that you need, all right? So once we hit our first 1,000 subscribers on our Brick Brothers podcast, man, I'm doing a cash giveaway, all right? And I'm also going to give y'all some tickets, man, to my next fight. So make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure that you guys share so one of you guys can actually come out to the fight, man, and enjoy it. Where we're going to be fighting at. So at the end of the day, bro, let's lock in, bro, and become a brick. Yeah, so we have another guest coming in from the UFC, so y'all know that the numbers is going up. I just want to thank this brother for coming in. You guys know that this person right here, he down for whatever. I'm talking about the UFC call him up, give him 3.5 minutes, maybe even 4. He gonna be ready to bang and get down. You know what I'm saying? He is known as the Phenom, my boy Evan Elder, man. What's the word, dog?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man, glad you came in, man. So what's up, man? Tell us how life going, dog.
Dude,
After
life is
getting a
great.
good finish in the UFC.
Yeah, life is great, man. I'm super blessed, dude, and just glad to finally get back in the cage, man. They kept me out for a year, and just thankful to finally get back in there. So
how did that fight come along, man? Like, was it? You said 4 days notice?
Yeah, 4 days. I was just getting out of the PI, just finished training on Tuesday, and saw I had a call from my manager and hit him back. So I was like, oh, finally, some fight news, and called him back, and he's like, bro, can you fight this weekend? I was like, damn. First news in a year.
What were you doing? What were you doing at the time? Exactly.
I was in the locker room at the PI.
Oh, okay.
Just got done training. I was about to get in the recovery room, get in a hot tub, cold tub, sauna and stuff. And looked at my phone. I saw I had a call from him, so I was hyped. I was like, oh, dude, that's got to be fight news. So I wasn't expecting 4 days. I didn't expect him to ask me to fight this weekend. But immediately, I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck, dude, 4 days? And I started telling you guys before, just a second ago before the podcast started, that I feel like God's been working crazy in my life these last 4 years, man. And I was out, or this last year, I was out for a year. Money got super low. Basically, I was I was like, man, I'm just tired of waiting for something to happen. Like, go attack that shit. And so just be ready for any single opportunity that comes your way. Yeah. And within there's probably within 2 months, they called me 4 days notice, and I was like, bro, I got to 100%.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you asked for.
Big opportunity.
Don't be nervous now.
And
yeah.
this is your second time taking a fight on 4 days notice, right? Something very close, similar situation happened before, right?
Yeah, it's basically like my UFC debut all over again. Which makes way more sense for a debut. You just got to do whatever you got to do to get in. But honestly, man, I'm just I think so much differently now about this fight game. Just like bro, you just just fight. Like, we're just fighting. Yeah. Like, if I can make weight and I can show up and fight this guy, I'll do it.
But I like what you were saying. You was at the PI though. So it wasn't like you was at a Whataburger, what I mean, just grubbing out, whatever. You was staying ready, and you never know when those calls might come, but when the call come, let me be ready for any situation. Because I've been there before too. Like you said, when your manager hits you up, you know what time it is, right? Because they got so many other fighters that that they probably have clients of, so when they hit you up, it's go time. Mm-hmm. So my biggest thing is just like having the opportunities that come to me, I got to be ready for it, because at the end of the day, it's cool to take whatever opportunity that given to you, but if you're not prepared, it can put you in the downfall, put you in a drought. So that's cool, man. That's you at the PI, man, really getting that work in. So where you training at full time now?
Honestly, a lot is PI. I've been at Syndicate. I moved out to Vegas about 4 months ago, and I was training at Syndicate for most of this time, this past 4 months, and I really like it. Syndicate's a great gym. A lot of the reason for me moving out to Vegas was to kind of be in control of my own training a little bit more, and take the rest days when I need them, be able to, if I want to work a little bit more on striking this week, that's what I'm going to do. Just kind of be able to dictate my own schedule a little bit more. So now I got a great squad that I train with at the PI all the time. Okay. My head coach, Mateos Nakash, a great striking coach, and got all the bodies you need there, just guys constantly in and out. And my boy Cody Steele, he's fighting on the Contender Series this season, so he's like my main training partner. So I get all kinds of good grappling work with him.
Oh man, that's what's up.
It's good. It's
I was
gonna
really double check to make sure that was okay, because I know you were affiliated with Killcliff, and this is the Killcliff Killer, and I don't want to make sure you have a gym to go back to.
No, it's still my boys.
Of course. I'm kidding, of course.
Bro, I love Killcliff, man. Yeah, I was having a really hard time staying healthy, and it was not even because of the gym. Seriously, I was just like, bro, something I'm doing, I'm messing up because I was getting hurt every week, and it's been great being out in Vegas because I got to just remove myself from. Spend so much time just completely alone. I was already doing that in Florida, but even removing myself from the gym, I'm just like, man, I'm just gonna go get a fresh start and just try to reanalyze everything that I'm doing, making sure I'm doing everything that I think is correct, to the best of my ability.
So
Because
I understand what you're saying on that one. But when you say like getting hurt, like you talking about sparring, or you just talking about just overtraining? Like what you mean by that?
yeah, I think it was more of the overtraining. It's not like we're spar. We spar hard down there. Kill Cliff spars really hard, but it's not like that's why I was getting hurt. It was just I think chronic overtraining, and not even just from being at Kill Cliff. It was from just the beginning of my career. I just had a really dumb understanding of bro, actually, you know what? This dude, seeing how hard this dude works. I remember being at Finney's. No, for real. Like, I've been so blessed everywhere I go, man. I've just always got people to look up to. I'm so good at putting myself in a room where I'm just like one of the worst, And so like even like being at Finney's, for the year I was there, seeing you and stuff, like for real, you always inspired me and motivated me big time. I remember doing
that, man. But no, you working, man. You doing your own thing right now. So yeah, bro. So.
No,
Thank you.
and it's working. You look fantastic. You're on a
Thank
2-fight
you.
win streak, so obviously everything's working in your favor. Do you feel like there's been a mentality shift, or just the process and system for you to get ready is just a better system?
All of it, dude. It's just like it's that. I feel like the sport, just life in general, is so complex. There's so many different intricacies and nuances to be understood that like. The harder you work and the longer you stay consistent with it, the more you just start finding these different light bulb moments. Like, oh wow, I never even thought about it like that. I don't know why I didn't see it in this light before. So it all just kind of works in unison. It's like there's not. I don't really think. I'm sure there's times where it's like, oh, I changed my diet for this fight and it really helped or whatever. But it's like. I feel like everything, you just keep getting better at everything. You get better at dieting. You get better at your preparation. You're better at your recovery. You're better at you just get better at it all.
Right.
Like it
that's
all
the thing.
gets better.
It's cool to have systems, but still systems can still be developed. It can still be matured and everything of that nature. So when you said how you was training back in Florida, you had to change things up. You had to dial things off a little bit. You know what I mean? Either get away from or start to add, brand new, mechanics. So like, when you talk about strength and conditioning, right? The way that you're, whether you're doing calisthenics, whether you're doing weightlifting, whether you're doing, just running cardio, period, right? It's just like you can't work the same way that you used to when you was younger, right? A lot of guys, they get straight into the gym and just want to go straight into it, but you got to stretch, you got to, warm up, you got to do little stuff like that, right, to get the body acclimated to what it's about to go through, But yeah, when I was young buck back in the day, I just get, straight busy, right? You know what I mean? Ain't no warm up system, nothing. Like we about to get the body warm by actually doing the activity, But now as time has went on, I realized that I have to listen to my body. Whatever's going on, if I got a shoulder injury or if my knee kind of feeling banged up, I got to pay attention to that, you know what I mean? And then adjust my workouts accordingly to how my body feels,
Yeah.
So it's good that, you doing that, man, and you adjusting the game and shit like that. You having success in that. But what's next for you, though, big fella? What's next?
Hopefully they let me get back in there as soon as possible, man. I'm hoping October, maybe end of October, November. As soon as they let me fight, man, I'll be back in there. So, back at 55.
You got a name?
Yeah,
On this pod, we like
you
to
have a
drop
specific
names.
person you like to see next?
No, I feel like I'm not in a position to be like. I feel like, especially for the lightweight roster, there's so many guys.
I'm about to say whiteweight?
Yeah, the lightweight got me out here stuttering. But in the lightweight division, there's so many guys, and it's like I'm still a ways away from top 15. I'm not even looking at that yet. I feel like that's around the time that I'm like would really be like, okay, this is who I'm trying to fight next. But right now I'm just like, I'll take whoever they give me. I feel like I'm just, I still got to be a soldier.
Do you feel like there are any
whatever I'm told, I'm doing.
Do you feel like there are any particular potential matchups that you would favor more than others, or you just anybody they throw at you, you don't care?
I've been, really anybody. It's funny, this last fight, actually, man, I was like, like I said, I was kind of in a position, and not even just out of like scarcity, not like I was just like, oh my gosh, I need any opportunity I can take. Maybe a little bit of that, but also just like, man, I'm tired of waiting. Like I can't wait around. I've always been about that, or at least said it. Time to be about it. It's easy to say it, but it's a different thing to actually be about it. But I was ready for any opportunity they give me. So I mean, they could have called me and been like, Ev, we need you to step up and fight Kamaru Usman this weekend, bro. And I've been like, oh my gosh. I got to do it. I've been talking about taking any opportunity. What I'm going to do now is take any opportunity, but only when it seems right.
Right.
It's like, no, it don't work like
sense,
that.
Right?
It don't work like that.
So,
Fighters fight. That's the thing at the end of the day.
Yep.
So, man, did you watch the fights this weekend? Sandhagen versus Umar?
I saw that one. I missed most of the prelims and stuff, but yeah, no, I thought that fight was actually really good. I'm a huge Corey Sandhagen fan. I was really pulling for him in that fight. But dude, Umar's grappling, which makes sense. Where he trains, who he trains with, everything is just off the charts. But I thought, dude, I was super impressed with Corey. His ability to defend takedowns and not even just defend, but a lot of times he'd get taken down, but his ability to get back up, hand fight, cut off, and get right back to action. But like Edrick was kind of alluding to earlier, is he obviously needed to do a little bit more to get the win. But I was super impressed with the fight. Anyways, super high level martial arts all the way around.
Yeah, beautiful, man. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
Man, the highest of high level. Just two guys who are at a supreme level of fight IQ, skills, physical shape, and everything. So it was a very competitive matchup. It was, I would say, decisive for Umar. But as far as the technique that was displayed, fantastic. I mean, I've never seen anybody be able to get up from Umar over and over. And it was just interesting to see the jiu-jitsu battles and then the distance and space being controlled by Corey at certain times. And then Umar figuring that out. But just I'm intrigued what's next for both individuals, especially Umar. I feel like it's just a matter of time before he gets a title.
Yeah.
Do you think it's next?
But, Umar was looking a little nervous on that feet, though, boy. He was looking nervous, look confused on the feet now.
Corey's a killer. I think, Corey is as high level as it gets in the UFC as a striker. If you listen to his ability to break things down and talk about scenarios, distance and time, and man, for him to have the success that he had, and he's primarily seen as a grappler, he's a problem.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't think much was going. So for me, what my opinion is, right? Umar did a great job, but I feel like there could have been more that Corey Sandhagen could have done to pull the fight towards his favor. You seen when Umar stood with him now.
He did.
Umar definitely stood, but you see on the last minute, right, of every round, he took a shot, right? Now he wasn't able to control Corey Sandhagen long. And Corey was able to get up and maintain, but I think Sandhagen kind of played himself because he was pressuring good. He was putting Umar on his back foot, and but he wasn't landing combinations. He wasn't throwing his hands. He wasn't really throwing leg kicks or them flying knees that just be coming out of nowhere, right? It could have been a lot of good setups for Corey Sandhagen, but he just didn't pull the trigger. But you said though, right? If you would have done that, been a more aggressive, now you're going into Umar's world. But on top of that, you seeing that you getting back up. Once in that second or third round, once I'm saying I'm able to get back up, nigga, I'm hunting you down.
So I agree with you on one aspect. I think at a certain time you have to have a mentality shift to say, okay, this is competitive, but I'm probably not going to win at this trajectory. So I have to mix it up. I have to take a risk. And I feel like he just didn't necessarily want to, because not that he's afraid, but Corey is really, really good. When you're really good, you just feel like you're going to figure it out, but that moment never happened. And then at the end, the Hail Mary he threw was off of his back, and I thought that was a tactical error, because you have a much greater chance of finishing somebody that high level on top as opposed to on bottom, and then you need a submission if you're going off your back, and he's never been submitted, undefeated kid, just probably not going to happen. But I agree with you. Being more aggressive.
Man, them flying knees should have been definitely spamming, dog.
Yeah.
Definitely should have been spamming.
I agree. I just think that it's easier said, especially when a fight is that close. It was a decisive victory, but it was still very competitive. It's hard to be if you're getting flushed out against a guy, you're getting destroyed. I think it's easy to be okay, Hail Mary. But when it's competitive, you just have that mindset switch I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to figure it out. But that moment just never came. I think that's kind of what happened in that fight.
What y'all think about the Khabib presence, though, in their corner, with Islam Makhachev and Umar Nurmagomedov, because for me, my personal opinion, I don't think they Khabib, but you see the success that they had with Khabib in their corner. So it's Khabib still out there fighting, still winning, still. So, y'all think Khabib probably going to go down as one of the best coaches as well? In the game, what y'all think, bro?
I wouldn't doubt it at all, bro.
I mean, just look what his dad was able to do, bring those guys over and have that level of success. You have multiple guys who are in multiple different organizations being world champions. And I did actually have a question off of that. Something I noticed in Umar's corner, he had 4 corners. Is that normal? I've never seen that before. So you guys both fight in the UFC. That's why I'm asking.
Main event. It used to be just champions.
Gotcha.
Only champions, but now if you're a main event, you good. You can have folks.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What was the next fight on there? We had a big one.
Oh, no. I want to talk about just briefly.
Go ahead.
Obviously, we have Merab and Sean O'Malley next. I think Umar probably will get the next opportunity outside of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
You beat number 2 in the world, and you're ranked, high up there, and nobody wanted to fight Umar. What do you see coming for Umar as far as him and Sean O'Malley or him and Merab? Just thoughts and opinions and views on that.
That's tough, man. I mean, obviously, that's 2 totally different fights. Umar versus Merab or Umar versus O'Malley. But O'Malley and Sandhagen's striking style is a lot different, but still long, lean strikers. I feel I wouldn't doubt if it played out similarly. Although now that I'm thinking about it, O'Malley keeps a much different striking style, and he's much more down the pipe with his shots. I feel like Corey's so good at shifting off and switching stances, and finding angles and stuff, and so is O'Malley. But he's really good at just shoving strikes straight down the pipe, and I feel like that's what gives him more of an advantage with grapplers, is because he's always got something in between you, and
you got to fight through that traffic.
Yeah, dude, it's like you're coming through a minefield trying to get to him. And Sandhagen fights a little bit wider, and I think that it leaves you a little bit more vulnerable to the takedowns because it's easier to level change to get in between, underneath the elbows.
I mean, you saw the beautiful timing that Umar did when Corey threw this the cross, and he came right underneath and took his back. Oh boy, that was
crazy.
So nasty.
Well, I think it also comes down to him and O'Malley. O'Malley is a specialist. He's a sniper, where Corey is one of those guys who's just great at everything. He'll wrestle if he has to. He'll do jiu-jitsu if he has to. He'll strike if he has to. He'll keep it in a kickboxing range. And I think O'Malley knows his best way to win the fight is strictly by controlling distance with his long punches and keeping Umar at range. So I can see the striking playing out a lot differently. But I think if the fight goes to the ground, O'Malley isn't as well versed in jiu-jitsu. I know he probably does.
He's done a couple of competition here and there. Yeah.
But obviously he's fought primarily guys who have never really tested him in that phase. But I'm intrigued.
Man, actually, I would be super, super interested because the caliber of just person that it takes to become a UFC world champion is like insane, right? It's like the the quality of the person, whether they show it or articulate it or not. That dude's got some crazy high level thoughts going on.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, even if we haven't seen Sean O'Malley's his game on the ground as much with his previous fights, I'd be super interested to see what he's got for Umar. I don't know if it would be similar or different to the way the Sandhagen fight played out, but I wouldn't doubt for a second that Sean O'Malley has a crazy high level ground game. The same way, the same elite understanding and comprehension and ability to drill.
To this game, man.
Yeah,
bro. Once you get to a certain point, you better know it, right?
Yeah,
He's a good coach too.
Right. Yeah.
Tim Walsh is a good coach. Really listens to jiu-jitsu.
So if Sean O'Malley do beat Merab, which I don't think he'll beat Merab, that's my boy Merab. You know what I mean? But if you got the styles mashup between Umar versus Sean O'Malley, bro, what I saw what Umar was doing was beautiful yet again. But what you said was right there. Boy, Sean O'Malley know how to pull that trigger, right? And with Umar coming in, he kind of was playing himself because he shot at the same time. It was never like, let's say, because that's not good either to be sporadic, but no offbeat, right? I knew exactly when he was going to shoot. Yeah. Even when I'm just me watching the fight, he was going to shoot right now, boom, and he shot, right? And that type of stuff right there, fighters read that all the time. So if Umar doesn't address that, right, from the beginning, because if I go back and watch some more Umar fights, I'm sure I'll probably see the same thing, that he shoots at certain points in the fight, right? He doesn't shoot because he has an opening. Like, literally, it'd be like a time tricking in his head, right? Yeah. And that's when he going to shoot. That's the type of stuff that Sean O'Malley's going to look out for. And once he sees that, guess what? He ain't going to be afraid just to run right through it.
Well, that's intriguing that you just said that too, but I feel like because the fight was so competitive and he had no control time, he just thought that the takedown would be the one defining moment.
But 5 rounds, I mean, he did the same.
Every round was super close. Like if you look at the strike totals, it just wasn't a lot to separate. The only thing you can give.
That's exactly why I was saying that. That's why I was like, if I was Corey, I would have been going after him.
Because I'm curious if we'll see what against Merab. That's actually this answers our question a little bit. If he can get up against Merab and Merab can't hold him down, then I think he probably fares decently well against Umar.
Yeah.
But getting into the next fight, we had Shara Magomedov versus Michael Elijah.
Oh yeah, the blind pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that fight?
I think it was a cool fight, man. Now, Buddy, Olechek, that's how you say that name?
Olechek, I think.
Olechek, whatever, man. You know, they ain't be having
I probably butchered it, too. It's okay.
Barely any vowels in that bitch, you know what I mean?
7 consonants in a row.
But he showed a lot, good pressure, right? Because he was coming off a loss with Kevin Holland, you know, and I think that was a little bit early, premature, you know, and obviously if you in the arm bar the referee, but at the end of the day, that's your arm. You know, if you don't want to tap and that thing get twisted up, you know, that's on you. But it wasn't there, right? Because he even showed that his medicals and his x-rays that he didn't get his arm, bro. That's why he was able to come right back, you know what I mean, and get another fight. But
a little premature.
He was getting his ass toe up with them kicks, man.
A little premature in his career also, though, right? Like, to get somebody like Kevin Holland, he's only had a couple of fights in the UFC.
Oh, probably. I think he's been around for a little minute.
Has he? For a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but at 185.
I think he's like bounced around. He's bounced around different weight classes,
okay.
so it's
Maybe
kind of
that's
hard
why.
to.
Maybe that's why.
But regardless, though, you know, Char was doing his thing, man. He got a little tired. He always getting tired, I feel like. But he started to slow down towards the end of the fight. But Char did his thing, you know. Not a lot of good hand combinations, but those kicks is on point, you know.
The only thing that really bothered me from the fight, Char looked great, but I feel like the commentary team at times has like a narrative that's filling their head. We talked about a little bit last time.
Yeah, all the time.
And,
especially DC weekend.
Char was winning definitively, in my opinion. It was decisive, but I didn't think it was dominant. They just kept using the term, oh, this is dominant. And he was getting touched. Olechek landed good strikes. It's just Char got the better. The bigger, more impactful of those kicks, like, it's just like the guy barely throws a jab.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, Olechek, I don't really know his game like that. I like his body. When he let his hands go, bro, it's beautiful, right? But he grappled this man, right?
Yeah.
He took his back, kind of had him in some bad positions.
It was competitive for sure.
So Char kind of, you know, got exposed a little bit by it. You know, even though he had success and he won the fight, like, bro, you definitely got exposed, calling out Nick Diaz and shit, boy. Nick looking at that like, nigga, I'm gonna take that neck, boy. Let's get it. What was your thoughts on the fight, though, man?
Yeah, I mean, he has a super interesting style. You know, it's just kind of like we were saying earlier. You know, it's not super traditional. Not everything's got to be this cookie cutter, perfect, you know, traditional way of striking or anything. But yeah, I feel like I always see him every single time he fights. He's always on his back foot a lot of times. You know, he finds moments where he'll crack somebody and then he'll take over, you know, and start putting the pressure on. But I think that's why a lot of times he looks so exhausted. It's just so hard to be able to just back and run it away the whole time.
That ain't how you naturally move. You know?
Yeah, because you got to stop that momentum from, you know, you're moving back, but you have to go forward to strike. And so like constantly, it's almost like you're meeting a little bit more resistance instead of like, I think that's why for the most part, people be doing the pressuring are usually winning the striking exchanges because you're a foot up already on the you know, the momentum going into the strike as opposed from being on your back foot to coming forward. You're already going forward into the strike.
Yeah. So like you said, it's that momentum. If I'm constantly going backwards, like I said, I don't naturally move like that, you know? And then, like you said, it's like you restarting every time. So, like, I gotta, right? When I can already be in motion and going forward, you know? And, yeah, that's that right there for me. I think that's going to be Char's downfall because if you go up against the grappling, you on your back foot like that, or you going to the ground and you ain't getting back up, you know? And you got a lot of heavy guys at 185. You know, a lot of heavy bodies.
Well, just psychologically, too, like, when you have the mindset that I'm going to take ground instead of give ground, when you're controlling distance in that way, I feel like it's less taxing your system. But when you want a guy to stay out of your face and you're trying to create distance, but he's still beating you right here in the middle, like, man, what I got to do to back this guy up? And I feel like that plays on the road too. And then you're not able to knock out a guy because, you know, he's landing all these big, heavy strikes and he's standing in there. He ate head kicks. I think he landed a front kick to the face.
Yeah, he did.
And Olechek's still there. And I feel like that
like
just makes it mentally for you to be more exhausted when you're doing everything, throwing the kitchen sink. You can't put a guy away. Yeah. And not be able to control that distance. But I think he has a good future in the UFC. I'm interested with the whole visa issue. I'm not sure. They say he was in Hollywood. Not visa issue, but with the eye.
What's up with that? He can only fight in Abu Dhabi?
Well, they said Michael. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that if he can only fight in Abu Dhabi. But if that is true, I ain't heard nothing about that. I did hear about that movie role though. He had a good little Tubi movie coming out. Yeah. He playing a what do you think? They said a carpet salesman.
Yeah, carpet
and an assassin.
Yeah.
Like you know that's Tubi, nigga. But I see big things for Buddy. But that's the thing about these guys that, you know, are from these other foreign places, bro. You know, these visa problems. Hamza, you know, perfect example. Like, we ain't seen this boy in a minute. And plus, when he do fight, he will be fighting in Abu Dhabi. And I think it's Robert Whittaker. They just
28th of October.
So they just rebooked
I
that
love
one.
that matchup.
Yeah, we love it too, but hopefully it happens, right? Hopefully coming to fruition. You know, we have another situation like with Khabib and Tony Ferguson. You know what I mean? Just a fight that we can just never see. But, you know, I think everything is going to be just fine, and the fight is going to be able to come into fruition. But yeah, I don't know what's up with these guys not being able to come over here, and because to be honest with you, at the end of the day, that's where the dollar's at, is in America, right? The domestic dollars, you coming over here, building a fan base, you like, that's where it's at. Abu Dhabi, obviously, you know what I mean, got good money, right? You know, with a fan base over there, but overall, it's just like you want to fight in this time zone, you know. And I believe that's the funniest thing, because they talked about that too with the next pay-per-view on 308, you know, because everybody was surprised about Paris being, you know, you see people going to sleep, right? Because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And they talked about the whole time zone thing, you know. Abu Dhabi's able to do that because, yet again, they pay itself, you know what I mean, for them to do whatever they want to do, right? But when it comes to other places around the world, you know, they always going to cater to the American audience, period, you know, because that's where the money comes from, you know. But yeah, that oil money different, that Sheik money different. Yeah,
It's like infinite money cheat code
Right?
shit. Like, yeah, boy.
Next fight we had on the card, Marlon Vera versus Davison Figueiredo Cheeto.
Ooh.
That was really interesting, in my opinion. The fact that Davison can still beat all these guys. Now, like, you fought Cody Garbrandt, who bounced up and down from both weight classes. Him and Davison are kind of similar size, but Marlon, I've seen him in person. He's a big
dude.
He's a big
He
135.
looked big in a fight.
Yeah, he looked like
big
a whole
in
weight
fight.
class bigger.
And he was able to control the grappling, drop Cheeto Vera, which I've never seen. I think that's the first time I'm ever getting dropped. The fact that he's able to move up from 125 to bantamweight and be so effective is really impressing me. I thought that Cheeto Vera's size and his durability would give him trouble, and he passed with flying colors.
And he was throwing them bitches. I know you said he dropped, but he was throwing them things.
He's
bro.
fast too, right?
Ooh, the uppercuts, the hooks. I mean, like they was really fighting like niggas, like
Bad
a title,
intentions.
like
Bad
a title was on the
intentions.
line,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then you know, but Cheeto was in the fight too now, you know. But you still getting your ass whooped by a little motherfucker, though.
But I've just never seen anybody, because Davison, to me, he's not a big 125 per se. Like, it's not like we say, oh, if he moves up, he's the same size as an Aljo or Sean O'Malley or Corey Sandhagen. And he's still very competitive, out grappling guys and throwing power, landing the most powerful shots, you know. You would think that Cheeto would have a power and size advantage in the grappling where he wouldn't be able to be controlled. And Davison was still very dominant in that fashion. What do you thoughts?
I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't say Figgy didn't look like a little 25er.
No, not at all.
No. So
he wasn't.
But you could tell it was a size difference. But no, Figgy did like he filled out himself though. You know,
Dude,
you can see it in his legs
man.
mainly. I feel like.
Yeah. So I mean, even going up to 35, it's not like he was the biggest guy for sure. He to me, like I said, or like we were saying, he almost looked like a whole weight class smaller than Cheeto, especially height wise. You know. But man, he was handling him. I was blown away. Like you were saying, dude, his ability to crack on the feet. He was every single day. He just throws with reckless abandon every single time, and maybe not reckless abandon because he was still super technical and tactical, right? But ill intent. The ill intent that he had with his punches, right?
Yeah,
He was like, I'm trying to finish you every single time I hit you. And I think he did that perfect to mix in with his takedowns, because as soon as he got you thinking he was committed to the striking, then he would level change, take you down easy. Man, I was blown away by his performance. I actually, before the fight, I was like, man, I think this is going to be a tough fight for Figgy. I think Cheeto's going to be able to
I agree with you.
And people not talking about it, but Davison might be able to skip past some niggas, boy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
for sure.
ain't nobody really talking about that because he called
What
his
is he
shot.
ranked? Yeah, what is he? Because I mean, Cheeto was like 4?
He was like 6 or something.
6? Okay.
Well, he's gonna have a ranking on Monday, I'm sure.
Most definitely.
just-
But he did call his shot though. He said, "Bro, I need that title, nigga.
Yeah.
Run that." So I can definitely see him skipping some people, man. Like no disrespect to Umar and stuff like that, but that ain't the style that people really want to watch.
Yeah,
That
it's
ain't what
not.
people really want to see.
But I feel like he's so marketable to that demographic that the
right.
UFC is gonna make. You know, I think it's good for the business because obviously you saw what Habib. Habib had a very similar
Yeah, they
style.
gonna hit up a couple of their cousins and niggas try to get some money together.
And Umar's striking is a lot better than Habib's. You know, if you look at his knockout against, I forget what's his name, but he landed that
that
I think I
fake
know
knee
it.
into the lead hook.
yeah,
that was nice.
exactly.
But he fought some old.
No.
on.
Ronnie Barcelos is a good fighter, man. Honey Barcelos. You say no? He's not a good
I ain't
fighter?
say he wasn't good, but he probably good back in the day. I'm gonna say that. Nigga. Anyways, though, what we got next?
And then a sad fight to discuss.
Oh damn, you right.
Tony Ferguson versus Michael.
Niggas will
Chiesa.
never forget where they was at, boy, when they seen Tony drop them goddamn gloves. Well,
Or one of them.
Yeah, man, it was sad to kind of watch, because to be honest with you, I didn't know what I was watching, right? Because I didn't know what to expect with Tony Ferguson coming out of there. I was a little. The fight didn't go long enough to even have anything happen, and it was just sad because it's just like you just see another L. You can't really take anything from it. It ain't like Tony just, what they call, just fell on his shield, right? Like where he just was going out there just fuck it. This is my last fight. I'm about to go to war. It was none of that, right?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as Tony made one mistake, right? Threw a punch, whatever. Michael Chiesa took his back, man, took his neck, and got Tony up out of there.
like
What I mean? And it was just like it was over, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was sad to see because like when you look at just all the highlights that he was being able to create, man. When he went up against Edson Barboza, when he went up against Kevin Lee, when he went up against what's another good name, bro? The crazy little war. I'm forgetting about that. Oh, Anthony Pettis, the bloodbath that they went.
Yep.
That's what we want to end off of.
Yeah.
Not what we seen that weekend, bro. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I dropped a tear like Denzel, nigga from Glory, dog. I had that one tear coming out my eye. I ain't gonna lie. How about you, man? How you feel about it?
It was sad. It was sad to see, but at the same time, honestly, it was kind of relieving. Like, man, I'm like, man, good for you, Tony. Get out of here, bro. Like, we all gonna love you anyways, dude. Like, get out of here. Go on to your next life, bro. Like, it's time to turn the page, and not even in a bad way, bro.
No, well, you seen the applause that he got.
Yeah, we love you, Tony.
Yeah, we always gonna love Tony.
On, bro.
How about you, man?
It's interesting. Like I was saying before, I feel like Tony has like two different careers in the UFC. You have the 13-fight win streak, I believe, and then you have a 9-fight losing streak. And when he was on fire, he was the best of the best. Nobody could beat Tony. Super tricky style. We never know what happened with him and Khabib, like what would have happened, but everybody that he faced, from Kevin Lee, all these prospects and guys, and always found a way to figure it out. But with that being said, I think that, as you said, a little bittersweet. As much as I was a fan of him and his tenure and his mainstay in the UFC, when you see somebody lose over and over again, the knockout against Justin Gaethje, like somebody getting battered, it was kind of relieving to see him lose in a fashion where he didn't have to take a lot of damage. He got paid, and he was able to, go off in the sunset against a good guy, against Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa was gracious enough to give his mic time away, and I thought that was a good ending for him. But, just as far as him competing, I wasn't intrigued to see it because I think his best days are behind him. And unfortunately, fighters are usually the last ones to know when that time comes. So.
So what y'all think about the one glove situation? Him keeping the one glove and then putting the one glove down.
What was that about?
So he said he thinking about it. He think, but he gonna have he's gonna have a conversation.
I thought he just wanted to take one of the gloves off.
No.
He
said if he's going to fight, I'm paraphrasing. If I get it wrong, don't kill me in the comments. Basically, he's putting a glove down because if he can't fight for the UFC, he doesn't want to fight. But hopefully the UFC will have him back, so he'll keep a glove just in case. Like he'll be on call if they call him.
Oh.
And here's the thing, Joaquin, I'm letting you know this right now on air. If I start to lose my hairline, just let me know to let it go. just cut it off. Sometimes you just gotta say the past is the past and let it go.
But what if you got the patch up top? Now you losing her, but what if you got that?
I still gotta let it go. I was bad in my.
What if you got the Leon?
In my heyday, I had a full set and I looked great. But sometimes it's over. We all lose our prime at some point. He doesn't have the ability. From 9 fights, we have a lot of data to say that he does not have the ability to compete at the level he used to. And at some point in time, I saw it with BJ Penn. I'm a huge BJ Penn fan.
Yeah,
one
that's
of the greatest to ever
do
it. But it's sad because I'll try to explain. To certain people, like, oh, BJ Penn was this great fighter, and they look up like, oh, this guy, look at his record, it's mixed, and you see a lot of losses on him. People don't understand. In his prime, he was hell to deal with, and I think with Tony Ferguson, you start tainting legacy, and the people who never got to see you at your peak, they discredit what you did. So for me, I would just like to see him walk away.
Yeah, I think that's that time, Tony. Yeah. Moment silence for Tony real quick. All right. I think we got one more and that's it.
No.
More,
That was it.
fights on his contract.
No, I think that was it.
But
He said he didn't know, but
But it don't matter. The UFC, the
cut
way,
it.
the
It
way
don't matter.
no, but the way this business
Get
works
outta here.
is
oh yeah, he said something about it.
you ever mess
Dude,
with,
I didn't know that. I thought that he kept one glove because he was like,
Because
I want to hold on to
it's
this
Tony.
shit.
Because it's
No.
Tony. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like on call, basically saying like, well, if you guys
Wow.
call me, I wouldn't mind. You know, it's like
Mhm.
when a girl kind of
Tony,
dumps
go.
you. You know what I mean? And you're like,
But
well,
you
if you
still-
call me back, you know, like. But with that being said, you know, just sometimes it's over.
Yeah.
But,
I think we got one more fight though. Let's
No, that was it. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad.
Let me double
Yeah,
check.
no, nigga. I thought we had two more on there, huh?
Mackenzie fought.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mackenzie,
Mackenzie, yeah.
Mackenzie and Loopy,
Yeah,
my
no,
bad.
no,
I
Mackenzie
missed
like
that.
that.
I just saw it. That's whenever I.
McKenzie.
Oh yeah, and Joel Alvarez. I thought that was on a prelim, but anyway, yeah, we can talk about it.
Who was the other one? Who was the other one?
Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner.
Oh, how did that fight go?
That fight, Brenner. Which one, Brenner?
The Brazilian blonde hair dude.
He whooped that nigga ass. Brenner
He's good.
was out there fighting hard. Yeah. The other dude got his ass whooped.
No, Alvarez is the one who won.
Oh, then,
Oh, for
never
real?
mind.
For real? I don't know who's
So,
right.
Joel
Who won?
Alvarez is from Spain. He's a prospect from Spain. He beat
Oh
up
shit!
Elvis Brenner trains with Charles Oliveira and that
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
And he ended up having a hard time. But
Whenever you were saying Bremer won, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's a bad dude.
but y'all want to get into the Dern fight or?
I mean, well, she did good.
It was cool. Again, another fight that was very competitive. But yeah, you just want to
very
introduce
cool.
it?
What they heard, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. That's all good. Let's just talk about the fight game. You know, y'all see my man Bud. You know, did it again. You know, he done moved up in weight. He fought this dude named Israel, undefeated dude, but you know, very small record. I think he was like 10-0 or something like that. But definitely a world champion.
He had like 300 some amateur fights though.
Something
He had
crazy,
350 amateur fights.
Yeah, something
ridiculous.
crazy like that. But bro, they talking about Bud might have lost this one, you know. So I watched the fight. I thought it was very competitive. I think, you know, it really could have went either way, but I think Bud did enough. And I believe Bud, for me, he kind of made great adjustments within the fight. You know, mid-fight adjustments is always good because if you keep doing the same thing, obviously, you know, you're going to end up being on the end of the whatever scorecard. So with Bud making that small adjustment, he really put himself in a position where, yet again, he was able to secure that win. But that fight was close, though. I ain't going to line, man. That fight was close.
See, and this is the problem. I feel like yet again what we were talking about. I think a lot of people have a hard time separating definitive versus competitive. Like you can have a decisive definitive victory that is not dominant, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Bud Crawford, in my opinion, clearly won, but it was very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the total number of punches thrown, Bud threw more and landed more. Now, he didn't land so much more that it was like a wash and a blowout. It was fairly close in the punches landed. But that means that the Kazakh, what's his name again?
Israel.
He just didn't throw a lot. So maybe if he threw more and was more aggressive, those close rounds could have gone to him. But I think activity, when there's not a lot of difference between separation of punches landed, the activity is what won Bud that fight. You're going up a weight class against a guy who's highly experienced and very powerful, super strong. For me, I thought Bud made great in-fight adjustments, was smart, stuck to his game plan, opened up when the opportunity presented itself. Those body shots and combinations in the later rounds, he kind of stole due to those big moments and big activities where it seemed like Israel was more just set to counter, and Bud is very hard to counter, as we know.
Right.
But for what this fight told me is that him fighting Canelo Alvarez is probably not his
No,
best
no,
interest.
and be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie to you too. So when I was watching that fight, right, Israel had some good right hands. He was touching.
Yeah,
he was
he
you know,
was
and
getting
Bud
to
got a good little, you know, he like,
poker face.
man, I ate that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Sticking his tongue out all that.
Yeah. But when it got to the fight was over with, right, and because that's what everybody was waiting on at the end of the day. So what do you think about Canelo? Oh, well, man, I just want to chill with the fam right now. I don't really worry. Because that was the perfect time to be like, yeah, but like Canelo, let's run it. Because I believe if Bud would have knocked out Israel, or, you know, put on a dominant performance like we talked about, the energy would have been a little different when that question that came
Absolutely.
up, you know. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you know, Bud is the best to do it, period, right now in the game.
Pound for pound
Definitely with pound for pound. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody to have to go fight Canelo. you know? Because yet again, size does matter. Like even he was saying, because I don't know if people realize that's like a 10-pound difference going up.
So he has 2 more weight classes to go up to even get to Canelo, and he had a lot of trouble with that
With
guy,
the
you
old
know?
body, because he's like, yeah, Buddy was strong. I didn't think he was, that strong. Like, bro, that's what happens when you move up.
I love how you point out his reaction, because they asked him.
Oh, we keep it a buck.
You know
over
when
here.
you don't want to answer a question but you have to. That's what it seemed like. When
That's
they asked
exactly
him.
what. Man, I just want to spend time with my babies and my kids.
So
man.
do you want to fight Canelo? I mean, we'll see what the money's like. Like it didn't sound like he was hell bent on it, But I don't blame him. Sometimes, he got 4 titles in 4 different weight classes, so that's a major accomplishment in itself. But to be able to skip the line and then fight another generational talent with Canelo Alvarez, it's probably not going to go in his favor. I just don't see it happening. But there's nothing wrong with trying something out and realizing.
And I'm glad he tested them waters first and like, yeah, these motherfuckers.
Because Canelo probably would knock him out. And I don't mean just the size and power. Like we have weight classes for a reason.
Yeah. What's another? Oh, Eddie Hearns.
Oh,
Eddie Hearns be turning up on these boxes. What is up? Y'all seen him with Jared Anderson, bro? And how he was getting busy with, and then on top of that, as well with Bud. Like Eddie Hearns, that boy acting up right now, dog.
So I've never seen him get in the middle of the ring and basically he called it a sham and it was a travesty. Evan, I don't know if you saw it, but
I didn't.
Eddie Hearn at the end of the fight said it was a robbery, and it's because Bud Crawford is revered in the way he is that they didn't give him a fair shake, and basically it was just a robbery. For a fight to be that close, calling it a robbery is just kind of laughable.
And the thing about boxing too, right? You got different promotions that's all involved with each other, so it can get a little, you know what I'm saying, crazy one in a while. But at the end of the day, you still a promoter, dog. You know what I mean? So with you attacking because that's what he did. He literally just attacked. But I mean, literally, that was his highest moment. Bud got this win, but he said, "No, F that, bro." You know what I'm saying? The judges definitely got it wrong. It don't make any sense. We should have had this fight somewhere else because we had it back in America. That's why they won, right? So Eddie Hearn just out here just putting out some bull, but it's just like, not only did he do that, but he be pulling up on fighters now, right? I don't know, because he said one of his favorite promoters to watch and learn from is Dana White. You know what I mean? But I feel like Eddie Hearn turned it up just a little bit more because he be betting like, nigga, I think you gonna lose. I put that money up. You know what I mean? Yeah, he be coming to the boxes like that. Like, how much you want to bet? I got a cash out, dog. Yeah, hit my cash out, dog. I don't think you gonna win.
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah. No, Eddie Hearn just a different type of promoter now that's in the boxing game. But it's just the way he do business. You know what I mean? It will make people a little bit more uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely at that level. But Eddie Hearn is at the highest with top ranked. Yeah. And at the end of the day, and it's sad because even boxers deal with it, even worse than us, right? Because we get opportunities, right? Boxing don't really get the same opportunities out. You got a lot of great boxers that, come within just in St. Louis alone that still have not been able to make their name. And I mean, they could have beat world champions right now. Yeah. But because if they don't have that connection or that relationship with the promoter, you'll never see them, right? But yeah, Eddie Hearn's turned up, dog. That shit crazy to me, dog.
Didn't hold his tongue on that one for sure.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. What else we got going on, man, before we head out of here?
I just want to ask Evan some questions.
Yeah.
So, Evan, you're a very cerebral, smart fighter. I just wanted to know, you're somebody who's competed in the sport of MMA for a long time. What was that journey like for you? I know seeing the UFC at an early age for me is what sparked the idea. What got you into fighting?
Yeah, man, that exact same thing. I remember watching the fights with my stepdad when I was real little, just us sitting on the couch watching the TV, 6 years old, something like that, and just being like, man, what if one day that's you up there? I'm like, I felt like God put a calling on my heart right away. I was like, that's what I'm doing. One day I'm going to be a champion in the UFC, that's it. And so, I mean, ever since then, 6 years old probably,
So, matter of fact, how your people's doing? Because
they
way
good.
Back, they used to come up to the Walgreens all the time, you know. When I was
couponing.
Yeah, couponing.
There we go.
Yeah. Because we had these summer sales, you know what I mean? And then, they'd cut the prices and all that. And I mean, I'm talking about your peoples get a whole cart full, doing something for the kids and everything, which is kind of dope,
Yeah.
But yeah, just ask, man, how the family doing, man? How you people's doing? Yeah.
Everybody's doing good, man. Actually, thank God, man. My dad finally lost a bunch of weight.
Okay.
So he's lost like 100 pounds now.
Hey,
so,
man. Congrats, man.
Shout out to him
Yeah.
because I'm super happy for him, proud of him because I know it shit ain't easy, but life changing. It'll kill you if you don't do it, So, anyways, other than that, man, everybody's just living, trying to take it day by day. Everybody's good though, man. It's just I can't wait to can't wait to have some more exciting stuff going on in my career finally. Hopefully be making some big money soon.
Nah, it's
more money
all-
and be
man,
able
it's
to
all
come back,
coming-
You're in a good
coming
path.
in
take
time.
care, and do some more stuff around the Lou and give back to the combat sports scene.
Because that's the
around here.
full circle motion, though, right?
For sure, for sure.
From starting, because I remember, I don't know if it was your last fight in Shamrock, but I think it was with CJ. I was there at that fight. Put on a beautiful performance there. But just to see where you started, right, and then and where you're going. Like, it's always that full circle, and then come back home. And I wish you was on the card as well with us. They had me, Charles, Sean Wilson, but you should have definitely been on the cards. Because you were one of the guys that helped build up, the Midwest, to build up Missouri, to build up St. Louis, and to get the engagements. But they definitely coming back. You know what I mean? So all we got to do is just make some noise, man.
Yeah.
Get Evanelda on the
Yeah,
card,
no, for
dog.
sure, bro.
We need that.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't upset. I thought for sure I was going to get on that card. I was like, it would make no sense. I haven't fought at that point, it was like 8 months or something like that. So I was like, I haven't fought in 8 months. From St. Louis. I'm sure they're going to probably try to get all the St. Louis guys on there and stuff. And so I was like, for sure they're going to get me on there. Got closer and closer and closer and closer. And I was calling for my shot.
I should have called you
As
for
I say,
the
you see Joaquin had
pull-up.
to bank his way on the cards.
Don't
feel slight.
Bro, I actually wasn't even, I wasn't even too bummed out because I was like, man, if I don't get on it, God must have something even better for me,
that's how
around
it
the corner.
always
So I wasn't even stressing about it. And then I remember watching the fights and I was like, damn.
Right?
That shit was so dope. All you guys showed out, man. The crowd was sick, man. But I was disappointed that I didn't get to be there. But man, I was just
yet again,
super
bro,
excited for you guys.
They
bro.
gonna come back around, and it's like I said, it's gonna be a full circle moment.
Yeah,
dog,
and who knows, man? I mean, hopefully, bro. By the time they come back around, you might be, fighting for a title.
Oh yeah, big belt. It's take the throne season, boy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's dude. Hopefully, it's even sicker than this time around. So I get in on the second one.
Somebody who's competed in mixed martial arts from a young age, trained and all that. Did you ever play any other sports besides combat ones?
I played football for a couple years. Dude, I'm a terrible athlete for real. Like,
man, same
it's
here,
funny
dog.
you said that.
It's funny. Look, I'm trying to break stereotypes. Nigga.
Yeah.
All niggas can't play basketball.
It's so funny that you two say that because you guys seem very athletic when you guys fight. So it's hilarious.
People tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
Man, you're so athletic, and I'm like, bro. I built some sport-specific athleticism for sure, but anything with a ball, I am so uncoordinated. And throughout time, like we were talking about earlier, like everything in your career kind of gets better. It's not. I feel like my overall general athleticism has gotten a lot better, but it's a lot of it's become because I've been a lot more cerebral. It's just like understanding how shit works. It's like, oh, you just have to have more experience in your mind-muscle connection, getting your body to do exactly what you want it to do. Yeah, I didn't really play any other sports other than football. I wrestled 7th and 8th grade year, and then my dad found me an MMA gym, so I started training in MMA, and then I stopped wrestling, unfortunately. I wish really bad now I wouldn't have. But at the same time, though, man, everything happens for a reason. I'm always where I'm supposed to be, so
for sure.
it is what it is, and can't change that.
So where did you start up? Because he said he got you right into MMA training. So
Han MMA in Festus.
Han,
Yeah, I remember.
Little Han MMA. I was there for about 5 years. It was like one of the only gyms I ever really trained at. And then I had my third amateur MMA fight, and I fought Luis Pena. Lost to him, and it was like one of the best things that ever happened to me because I had a horrible weight cut. Looked terrible, fought bad, and it was just exactly what I needed though to be able to prompt me. Yeah, 100%. It was like, oh look, bro, you just failed everywhere. Like you didn't do anything right. And I was like, if you want to do this like you say you want to do it, it's time to get on and get at it. So like let's go. So I was so young and naive. I mean, I think the fight whenever I lost to Luis Pena, like a couple days before, I had just turned 19, and after the fight, I was like, bro, I'm moving to California. I had no real world experience with anything, and so I was literally just like, oh, I'm just gonna pack up my car and drive out there. Champions do that all the time, right? You just do whatever.
I heard
it
George
takes.
St. Pierre story. Like,
I figured that's what champions do, right? You just go do whatever you do by any means. By any means, I love that saying. It's so simple. By any means, you figure it out. Go get it done. And truly, man, what's so cool is like I feel like whenever you chase something with that kind of passion and that pursuit of just like by any means, God finds such a crazy way to make things just fall into place, bro. And so I was like, by any means, I started like raising some money. I was working my ass off. I saved up a couple grand, and at the time it was a lot of money for me. And So I was about to hop in my car and head out to California, and like 2 weeks before I left, some family friends of mine heard that I was wanting to move out there, and they had just moved out a couple months before, and they were like, "Hey, we got an extra room here if you want to come live with us."
Yeah,
We
but you
live,
gotta live in your
crazy.
car.
Yeah.
Things work when you manifest them for real.
yeah, for real. And
You
then
behind
they were
it.
like, "We live in Stockton, California. You know, we don't know if there's any gyms around here." So I immediately thought of the Diaz brothers
Right.
out here in Stockton, and I looked it up, and they were like 3 miles from the Nick Diaz Academy. So I was like, "Oh, dude, that's meant to be." And a funny story with that, actually, I was moving out there, right, and everybody was like 2 weeks before I was leaving, my family friends hit me up and were like, "Hey, you can come live in Stockton." So I was like, "Oh shoot, let's check out the Diaz Academy." And everybody was like, "Yo, you should probably call them and like let them know you're coming." Or I was like, "Bro, I bet they get 1,000,000 calls a day. Everybody wants to be a fighter." I was like, "I'm not just gonna be another person that calls. Like, I'm just gonna show up." And I've always just thought about being undeniable. It's just like if I work as hard as I possibly can, treat everybody well, and do everything that's expected of me, why would anybody say no? Like, I feel like that just doesn't make any sense. So I drove all the way out there, and the gym was closed, bro. Like shut down. Like they were still posting old videos of them training at the gym.
So you man, they still open. That's cool. Yeah,
bro. I was like,
lockdown.
I was posted up outside the gym for like for almost a whole week, bro. Like stalking it for like 5-6 hours a day because I was just waiting for somebody to show up.
Anybody.
Yeah, dude, I was like, dude, they're posting videos. They're training here. They got to be here training. And but anyways, I reached out to everybody I could find, tagged in any of the pictures and on their Instagram account. And finally, one of them got back and was like, "Yeah, man, the gym's just shut down. We're moving locations and stuff. We'll be closed for a couple months." But they were like, "Go train at this other gym, one town down." And anyways, crazy long story. I ended up training down there. A guy that trained there introduced me to Nate because he was friends, and then one day Nate saw me walking on the road and literally was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Just recognized me. Just happened to recognize me from meeting me like 2 or 3 times and picked me up. And then we were going to the new gym where they were moving into, and I helped them unload some stuff. And they were like, "Yo, we're training here tonight. You want to come back?" So that's what ended up getting me to
Look
train
at
there,
that,
bro.
man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hey, that's that SDL hustle too,
Right.
bro. You hear me? Hey, locked in,
Yeah.
bro. But no, I mean, you never know where your story might lead, but you got to take the first steps.
Gotta take
a
the
lot
chance,
of people
bro.
ain't willing to leap. That's the sad part, A lot of people like, man, I don't know if this gonna go right. I don't know if this gonna happen and stuff like that. Don't worry about that because whatever's gonna happen. But take the chance, Go out there and just try to make something happen, right? Because if you feel like you don't want to be in a position where you at, you got to move. That's it.
Yeah.
You just got to move. You got to step up, And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, they still don't know about that type of stories, right? They think once we get in the UFC, we just got it here. We were just blessed, You got to put yourself in a position in order to get these opportunities. And I tell fighters all the time, you can't be scared to do new things or to be uncomfortable, right? It ain't comfortable being in your car, right? Because you had a bed back home, you know what I'm saying, in Hillsborough or in St. Louis, to be around your parents or whatever. But you like, nah, man, I got to figure this out on my own. Like you said, you was out, a whole week just trying to figure out, man, somebody about to walk by this door and do some magic around this mother, cut the grass at least, you know what I mean?
Something.
Right? So you stuck to your code, right? Like, hey, bro, until I'm able to find somebody because I need to do this for me, that's how God works, right? And then put you in a position like Diaz, bro, one of the biggest athletes on the planet, you know what I mean? And you in a car with him just chopping it up.
Yeah.
Like people will never believe that if you just take an opportunity, great things can happen, man. So, man, shout out to you, dog, man. Really
Thank
hustling
you, bro.
here, dog.
Definitely.
I ain't done nothing yet, man.
One last question, if I may. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of MMA?
Certainly GSP. That's always like that. He's my go-to. I feel like he was just so far ahead of the game with how cerebral he was. Just like
Couldn't agree anymore.
yeah, dude. It was just like at a time where it was basically an era of just was like who was the baddest dude, who worked the hardest, like who was willing to endure more. That was it. It was like he took that to a whole nother level. He's like, okay, yeah, we got to have this, right? We for that's like baseline. We got to do that, right? We got to be a savage. But there's a lot of thinking to this shit, like recovering, taking care of your body, tactics. Like, what am I doing for specific guys? And of course, like other guys were thinking that way too. But he just took it to a whole nother level.
Different
You know,
level.
it's funny you said at the time, not that many guys. I say him and Rich Franklin are probably the first
Yeah.
2 guys I saw who are like, I'm a fighter, but I gotta be an athlete too. How am I gonna train? How am I gonna recover? Like I have to be tactful not just tough. So I agree with that 100%.
All right, we got 3 more names.
I mean, I feel like John Jones has to go up there. I mean, he's to me. I mean, he's got to be the GOAT, right? With his resume, like the quality of people that he's beat.
What you laughing about? He is the GOAT. I ain't never argued that nigga.
No, it's a great pick for sure. I
Yeah,
think
no, this is like
99.9% of people will agree with that. 100%.
I mean, who else? You know, I mean, honestly, Khabib probably just because of the dominance that he had in his performances. You know, I know that he didn't have. I don't think that he deserves to be the GOAT over John Jones just because of the quality opponents that he fought. But the dominance in which he displayed, even at the highest level, you know, even if it's not the most exciting fighting style or anything else, it was just dominance.
It's your list. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't got to qualify. People argue in the comments, but who cares?
One more, right?
Two
one
more,
more.
right? Who? Oh no, that's
more.
three. That's
Yeah.
three. My
Yeah,
bad.
you got one
CTE is a hell of a drug.
It's all right.
Forgot my math skills. Man, who else, bro? Just. I mean, maybe Joaquin Buckley, but
No.
I never put Joaquin on the list. You don't gotta lie to me.
listen, hey, he will be up there.
One day,
he'll be a
for
GOAT. But
Get your Mighty Mouse.
yeah.
you know what? Probably Demetrius, just because he's probably like the most beautiful display of martial arts. Like when it comes to, I'm stealing this from Joe Rogan, but he was like, when it comes to the expression of martial arts, nobody expresses martial arts better. You know, of just like the artistic side of just. Expressing techniques to their full potential, their full ability, man. That dude does it.
I agree. I always say about DJ that he's probably, when you look at the body of work, he doesn't have the big names and the flashy resume from that standpoint, but he's probably the best mixed martial artist that I've ever seen. One of the only guys you say could go compete in Muay Thai or kickboxing, could go to a jiu-jitsu tournament and be competitive, go to a wrestling match and be competitive. He's a true mixed martial artist in that embodiment, so I couldn't agree more.
That's a good list, man. That's a good list. All right, man. I think.
Wait, boxing? You think? Could he go into boxing?
DJ, I think he literally could do any. If he locked in, I think he literally could do anything. He has no holes or deficiency. He's not the greatest at any one thing. Like, so he was in that mixed rules match in ONE FC where he had to do Muay Thai for the first round. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't do takedowns, and he ended up surviving.
That's a world class Muay
against
Thai.
a legit Muay Thai guy, and he survived.
And he still had moments too.
Yeah,
bro. It's not like he was just surviving.
He was competitive, and then the next round was MMA, and he takes him out in like 2 seconds.
He got him up
And
out
then
of
you think about the knockout that he got kneed in the face because, you know, in the one they're allowed to knee on the ground. The next fight he fights the guy and he knocks him out the same. Yeah. It's just cerebral. Like one of the best to ever do it, man.
I got one question if that's cool.
Of course, we got him here as long as he feels comfortable. Yeah.
You can leave it in or cut it. But you just went crazy viral your last fight. I mean, so did the assassination attempt happen during your fight?
My God. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually the assassination attempt happened like as I was getting warmed up, I guess. Before I even said anything about it on the mic, I hadn't even seen about it. My boy Tuco, it was in my corner. I was in the back cracking pads like 15 minutes from walking out. So I mean, I was locked in. I wasn't paying attention to anything except for getting ready to fight, getting dialed in. And he was like, "Yo, they just tried to assassinate Trump," and I was like, "What?" And I was so dialed in, I was like, "Bro, I can't focus on that right now. Like, I don't even know if you're playing with me. Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that?" And anyways, from the time I arm triangle dude and all the cameraman and everything were coming in the cage, there was like 2 minutes of time, and before they announced me and everything, and my boy Tuco was like, he was like, "Yo, that shit about Trump was real. Say something about it." Shout out to him.
Shit was real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. And so shout out to him for even telling me because I hadn't even seen. I hadn't even seen anything about. But that's why I was like legitimately on the mic. I was like, "Yo, I heard." Like, I didn't even know. Like, I heard they just tried to whack Trump. What?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
No, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so
I mean, man, they really tried to get Trump up out of here, man. But they did not succeed. So
thank God, Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.
Well, look, you vote for who the fuck you want to vote for, regardless. But yeah, man, I think that's a good episode right there, man. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody, man, definitely coming in, watching. I want to thank Evan Elder, man, for coming in, putting on a good show for us, telling us his story. He got big things coming up, so we definitely going to be supporting him, man, once he get another fight. But yeah, for all my bricks out there, man, yet again, At the bottom, we're going to have Brick Brother Podcast. I want you guys to click that channel. I want you guys to go subscribe. And yet again, once we hit our first 1,000 subscribers, man, I'm going to make sure to get you guys some tickets to my fight and also a cash giveaway. All right, so if you want to become a Brick, man, all you got to do is lock in, subscribe to your boy, and hey, let's run it.